General Hospital spoilers, Natalia discovers the boss of WSB, teams up with Sonny to plan revenge. In a breathtaking twist that will leave General Hospital fans reeling, Natalia Rogers Ramirez steps out of the shadows and into a war that no one saw coming. After months of secrets, betrayals, and near-deadly encounters, Natalia will finally uncover the truth. The real boss of the WSB has been manipulating Port Charles and her family for far longer than anyone suspected. And in a shocking move that will shift the very power dynamics of the town, Natalia will turn to none other than Sonny Corinthos for an alliance forged in mutual betrayal and a burning thirst for revenge. Prepare yourselves, GH fans. Natalia and Sonny are about to light Port Charles on fire. Natalia has never been a woman who takes betrayal lightly. A mother, a fighter, and a survivor, she's quietly built her own network of contacts in the years before she even set foot in Port Charles. While her public image suggested she was just Blaze's supportive mother, those closest to Natalia knew there were deeper layers, ones few dared to uncover. After Blaze's relationship with Christina was exposed and brought them into conflict with shadowy forces, Natalia grew suspicious of the chaos descending around her family. When she noticed mysterious figures following Blaze and strange messages appearing on her devices, Natalia decided she couldn't trust anyone, not even the PCPD. Going underground, Natalia used old contacts from her days in Spain and South America, ones tied to government secrets and espionage. For weeks, she hunted, interrogated, bribed, and chased leads until she finally pieced it together. The man orchestrating the collapse of Port Charles from the inside, the one who had been controlling the WSB ever since Brennan's fall, the one secretly trying to destroy Sonny Corinthos, the one who had even manipulated Anna Devane's darkest nightmares. It was Victor Cassidy's secret heir, a man known only as Dominic Faulkner. Dominic had been working silently behind the scenes, using WSB assets to turn Port Charles into a chessboard. Natalia realized with horror that Blaze had unknowingly been a pawn in his scheme, just one more tool to destroy Sonny and fracture the Corinthos family. But Natalia wasn't about to let anyone hurt her daughter. She knew what had to be done. Natalia knew Sonny's reputation: ruthless, unrelenting, fiercely loyal to his family. She also knew approaching him would be dangerous, but necessary. In a dramatic confrontation at Pozzolos, Natalia walked into Sonny's private office one stormy night, demanding a meeting. At first, Sonny was wary. He didn't trust easily, especially not newcomers who could be carrying WSB agendas. But when Natalia laid out everything she had learned, Sonny's expression shifted from suspicion to grim rage. Dominic Faulkner, the man who had been pulling the strings of the WSB all along. The man who had turned friends against each other. The man who had nearly destroyed Sonny's entire life. Sonny leaned back in his chair, studying Natalia with new eyes. "You sure about this?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. Natalia didn't blink. "As sure as I am that if we don't strike first, he'll tear this town apart, and our families with it." And so, an alliance was born. Sonny Corinthos, the king of Port Charles, and Natalia Rogers Ramirez, the fierce mother and secret warrior, decided they would strike back. Together, Natalia and Sonny both understood they couldn't simply storm into Dominic's headquarters guns blazing. This war would require precision, deception, and strategy. Natalia's plan was simple in concept but dangerous in execution. Identify Dominic's lieutenants in Port Charles. Turn them against him, using their own fears and ambitions. Expose Dominic publicly, ensuring he lost the WSB's protection. Deliver the final blow, destroy his empire from the inside out. Each step would require careful orchestration. Sonny's network of informants and soldiers would gather intelligence on Dominic's moves. Natalia's connections in the international intelligence world would uncover Dominic's weaknesses and potential allies within the WSB. But the most crucial part of the plan involved Blaze and Christina, and Natalia's heart ached knowing her daughter was about to be drawn deeper into a deadly game she never asked to play. Natalia's worst fears come true when Dominic, sensing something shifting against him, decides to strike back. And he chooses the easiest target to hurt Natalia and Sonny: Blaze. In a terrifying moment at Rice Park, Blaze is abducted in broad daylight. Christina, who had been meeting Blaze for lunch, is left behind with only a cryptic note. "End this, or you'll bury her." When Sonny and Natalia receive the news, both are devastated, but also enraged. Natalia, who has spent her entire life protecting her daughter, realizes there's no turning back. Sonny, who sees Christina's agony, swears vengeance like Port Charles has never seen. Together, they vow Blaze will be rescued, Dominic will be destroyed, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will stand in their way. Using Sonny's resources, Natalia tracks Blaze's location to a heavily fortified compound just outside of Port Charles, one owned by a shell corporation tied to the WSB. The rescue mission is dangerous. Bullets fly. Explosions rock the night sky. But Natalia fights like a woman possessed, and Sonny moves with lethal precision. In the end, they break through Dominic's defenses. Natalia personally frees Blaze from her chains, sobbing with relief as she holds her daughter. But the war isn't over yet. Dominic escapes, vowing to return, and next time, he promises there will be no mercy. In the aftermath of the battle, Port Charles breathes a tentative sigh of relief. Dominic's network is in ruins. The WSB is exposed and thrown into chaos. Anna, Valentine, and Jordan scramble to pick up the pieces. But everyone knows a new force has risen. Natalia Rogers Ramirez isn't just Blaze's mother anymore. She's a power player in her own right, a woman who has the respect of Sonny Corinthos and the gratitude of an entire city. And Sonny? He knows that alliances like this are rare and powerful. Together, Sonny and Natalia vow to protect their families and their town from whatever new threats arise. Because they know that in Port Charles, peace is always temporary. And the next war is just around the corner.